Okay, can.
Okay, so okay, so today we're going to do on the film The Rules of the Game by John Renoir. So here's a bit of his historical content. So actually, this film was produced in the 1930s, and prior to that was the Great Depression. So in 1939, it was the start of World War II, and that was the exact same year that the Rules of the Game was produced in. And so France actually declared war on Germany in that year, and there was this global unease that dictatorship would take over democracy. So the rules of the game can actually be seen as an anti-war statement surrounding the idea of the world running out of control. Okay, so a bit more about John Renoir, the director. Okay, he's the son of the Impressionism artist called Pierre, and he served in World War I as a French cavalry. So he has directed more than 40 films from the silent films era to 1960s. And he enjoyed success as a filmmaker in the 1930s, having directed Grand Illusion and The Rules of the Game during that period of time. So the rules of the game is actually about the aristocrats and their servants. So this group of people, both the rich people and their poor servants, they gather at a mansion. So this story is about like a complicated love relationship, and chaos actually ensues when like the lovers confront one another. So this chaos can be seen as representing a chaotic situation that will follow when World War II starts. Yep. The Rules of the Game is actually a film representative of this movement called poetic realism. It's a trend followed by many French filmmakers in the 1930s, and it often offers a pessimistic view on society. So it always like focuses on downtrodden characters who finally have a shot at love, but they are disappointed in the end again. And it rejects happy endings and often end in death, surrounding the theme of doomed love. So other films that followed this trend was The Human Beast, Grand Illusion, and Daybreak.
Okay, so why this film is part of the movement, I'll break it down according to the 3 points that Angeline said. The first one, the movement offers a pessimistic view of society. The film is to criticize the upper middle class society of France in 1930, depicting its members as superficial beings, having little regard for their actions and yeah. So I'll be a bit of spoiler. So at the end, right?
No, 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 no. We can talk during tutorial.
Okay, yeah. And Jean Renoir, he wanted when he made this film, he wanted a precise description of the bourgeois of his time. And for the second one, it focused on downtrodden characters. Renoir wanted to convey his adoration for women, so by showing that men talk about women and like the way like yeah, in just explaining how their love for women. Yeah, you'll see in the film, right? This is the relationship in the film. So yeah, I'll give you about a few seconds to just read through. Okay, then the third one, right? It often ends in death. Okay, yeah. So, Renoir, Renoir wanted to. His purpose was to make this film to demonstrate that every game you play has rules to it. So in this film, someone actually breaks the rule. I will not mention who. Wait.
Or maybe you just.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm so sorry. Yeah. So eventually, stop it there. So eventually costing him is the Andre's confession eventually caused his death at the end. Yeah.
Hey, I think that's all in primary school nowadays. Among teachers.
Okay, so the reception of the film, it mainly received negative response because of its negative depiction of the French upperclassmen. So eventually, this film was banned by the French government for its unpatriotic tone, and then it was also removed from every cinema in Paris. And Renoir also had to cut down the films to about 81 minutes because of the distributor's demand. So the original negative was destroyed during World War II, but later after the war, pieces of the film were found again, so it was restored in 1959 under Renoir's approval and advice. And what's the next one?
Then why is the film well known? The reception of the film was one of the reasons, and then the film focuses on the group and there's no main character, something like the Soviet montage. Then this point right actually parallels to focusing on the society as a whole as well. And then the next one is indication of the most original and fundamental but also an advancement of cinematography, which Ada will explain later. Hi guys.
Okay. Now we're talking about the film style, and then for Renoir, since The Grand Illusion, which is his first epic commercial success film, there's been this style that be identified. It's called the invisible directorial style, which means that as a director, he do not believe that he should interfere with the audience expectations or view of the film or character of the story. So what I'm talking about the style later on will be quite related to his views and ideas. So to talk about mise-en-scène first. Mise-en-scène is basically like set design, acting and cinematography and like motifs, things that happens before the camera. So I just lump them all in mise-en-scène. First of all, the cinematography. There's this one part of the film that you guys will see later that they use like telephoto and long lens to capture animals on the trees and everything. That is like a point of view of the field glass that they used back then. Then the main thing about this film cinematography is like it's deep focus, it's like long take, and then it's like mobile camera movement, like what Munal said, that in the future there are people be using this mobile camera movement. So we will see this in Jean Renoir's film. To illustrate an example, I'll show you a clip. This will not be much of a spoiler. So you see that it's the camera moves. You can see like the relationship between the foreground to the background. And this really depicts like real life scenarios and in real life situation, because there is never just like how theatre is just foreground and the camera or the audience, just one person. There's always like band, then there's like Faraz behind, then there's Isu behind, like there are people in different, what do you call that, space. Yeah, and they are doing different things at the same time.